Hello, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome into this video for how to get the most out of my readings. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to have you joining me on this journey. This is a video that you only need to watch one time. It'll help you get the most out of all of my readings. This is also just to save time for those who come back and watch me over and over again so that they don't have to keep watching me say the same things, because I pretty much say the same thing every time. So, first of all, in my readings, I'm always intending to help bring guidance to you. I'm always intending that this guidance be aligned with your highest good and the highest good of all. When we do readings, we're tapping into the wise instinctive knowing that exists within our heart, and we're tapping into our spiritual support team. So throughout the readings, I'm going to be referring to different goddesses, god energies, angel archetypes, ancestors. The fairies are one of the decks that I work with. And so I encourage you that no matter what your spiritual background is, that you understand throughout all my readings that I am really calling on your spiritual support team. If for you that is God, beautiful. If for you that's your ancestor who's passed, beautiful. If for you it is the fairies or an angel or a goddess, perfect. Just know that no matter what form the guidance comes to you through, it's always your spiritual support team talking to you. And these energies that we call on, so whatever energies you work with, I always invite you to call in those energies. Whatever it is, that'll still work with this process, no matter what we call it. It's all basically that same energy of unconditional love and source and support. So I like to call it your spiritual support team because it's kind of a blanket term. We call in our spiritual support team, and then we tap into our own wise instinctive knowing within. So this is a big part of how to get the most out of my readings. I want you to be aware of what is going on for you as you hear the guidance come through. I am intending to activate the own knowing that you have, your own intuition, your own understanding, your own knowledge, activating that as we go through these readings. So as you are watching the readings, you might see a symbol that reminds you of something. You might hear me say a certain phrase and realize that it is relating to a situation in your life. Or I might be talking about certain energies and you might know who those people are with those energies that I'm talking about. Or you might just have a feeling in your heart or your gut that tells you, yes, this is what she's talking about is this thing. This is one of the reasons why I always recommend watching my readings with a journal. I love using the journal to help process the readings that I watch, that my mentor gives me, that I tune into every month to help guide me on my path. So I invite you to have the journal, and I invite you to pause the reading when you have those intuitive hits, when that wise instinctive knowing or your support team is coming through strong for you and you know you have that aha, that's what this is talking about. Pause the video, write that down so you can capture it in the moment. I find for myself, if I don't write down my ahas immediately, I kind of lose them and I forget what was coming through as the reader was speaking. So I always recommend having a journal. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this to get the most out of my readings, and you don't have to do this next part to get the most out of my readings. Here's just a little tip and a little fun thing that I do. I use 3 different colored pens when I listen to a reading. The first colored pen I use to write down what the question is, like what's the subject, what it says on the card, anything that it says on the card, any number on the card, any text on the card, I'll write it down. In another color pen, I will write down what the reader says about the card that I find valuable. So whatever it is that the reader is talking about that really hits me as important to remember, I'll write that down in my second color. In my third color, what I do is I write down my own intuitions. So I can tell the difference when I'm going back and reviewing my notes. What was the card? What was the reader's energy and information coming through? And what was my own insights that were coming through? I love utilizing the 3-pen system because it really helps me when I go back and look at things. And it's just fun to see all the different colors. You can get like a set of different colored pens at the Dollar Tree for like $1.25. Okay. Next, how to get the most out of my readings. I always recommend turning the journal entries into index cards, like Spark Notes versions. So I always do my readings for different astrological cycles. So I encourage you to write down the cycle, like when is the advice valid for? What's the date that it started and end? When will it end? And then I write down like the most important thing for me to remember about that. And I keep a stack of index cards by the place that I sit every morning when I go through my routine, have my coffee, and I'll review what my currently active advice is just to keep it fresh in my mind before I start my day. Sometimes I'll put it by my bed and also review it at night so you can find what works best for you. Some people like to just have Post-it notes and put those in their desk, at their office, or in their bathroom, on their mirror. So taking the journal entry and turning it into small, easy to digest pieces that you can review on a daily basis is another way to get the most out of my reading. And then I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but we'll mention it now because everything's perfect and aligned. I always encourage you to bring in your spiritual support team, make it a special ceremony. And by ceremony, that just means special thing. I light candles. I will have a favorite beverage on hand. I will burn some sage, put some essential oils on. I just really like setting a special space for myself to receive readings. And so I encourage you to do the same. Make it special, make it sacred, make it fun for yourself. And that'll help you get the most out of it too. And once you set that space, then you call in your spiritual support team. So whoever it is that you talk to, whatever that energy is, you just say, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for giving me advice that really supports me and helps me navigate this life. I appreciate you. You just say whatever comes through, okay? And that will really help you get the most out of the reading. Just knowing that you're calling in those energies before you listen to the reading is a very powerful thing to do. You can also write your thank you in your journal if that feels good to you as well. Oh, let me say this now so I don't have to say it every video as well. If you want to support me, you can do that many ways. You can share these videos with people. You can comment on the videos. You can subscribe to the channel. And you can also send me a donation. I accept donations at paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. You can also go to my website to see what's going on there. Other ways that you can engage and support. It's devotedandvulnerable.com. And with that, I am complete. As always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.